the matter which is confronting them still persists. So we note this is why we removed it as part of our national obligation. We put a complete indefinite ban on its hunting about over 10 years ago. But anything that has to do with our ecosystem and our wildlife is a concern for us, and this is why we have we ban hunting of certain creatures for most of the year, to ensure that they can remain with us indefinitely and to protect the endangered circumstance. But it is something that has preoccupied the government and of course the ministry on this, and I know some work is ongoing, but it's not easy work because the matter that's confronting them is very severe and very perplexing based on what the scientists have been saying to us over the years.
You haven't answered my other question.
You serious? No? Which one? Which?
The barrier.
Oh, the barrier. I'm sure we'll.
People are listening and they want to know. They decided for me to ask you.
Listen to me ask you. I would say to them more than likely yes. So more than likely yes. We will go with the barrel situation. The barrel situation as we've done before. What I would like to caution Dominicans, please, if we give you a look as is you, let's do it properly. Don't try to beat the system. That's what the problem. So it's like the 150, is it US FS? That people, so we have this 150 US exemption on EC exemptions and so forth. But people find ways of going around it. And when you find ways of going around it, it starts affecting the local business community, and then affecting our tax revenue, and it starts affecting employment. So let us use it properly as we've articulated. So do not put a microwave down in the bottom of the barrel when the microwave's not a part of it, or some other stuff that, or bring 10 barrels and put one on everybody else's name, I mean, two barrels, transparently bring the 2 barrels. We won't make it go through. But don't try to beat the system, but yes, they'll have it. Yes, they will have the. I will announce it very soon. So it will be way into for Christmas. This time it early as compared to last year, it was very late. So we will take a decision this week. Okay. So it will come into effect with FS 1st of December. 1st of December. 1st of December will come into effect. 1st to 24th. So it will come into effect 1st of December. All right. So I'm sure people must be calling their aunties. Hold the barrel back. Hold the barrel back. Please.
You mentioned the possible arrival of a 4.8 megawatt generator island by December 2nd to be implemented by January. Just wanted to confirm for the general public, should Dominicans expect a Black Christmas this year, or are there going to be any implementations within that time frame that will probably ease up the load shedding? I'm not sure if you're able to answer.
First of all, this is correct. Yes, it's a 4.8 megawatt of power that the government has procured, and will be leasing to Dominic on concessionary terms, favorable terms, so as not to cause there to be an increase in the rate of electricity to consumers. It will be shipped to Dominica on December 2nd, so it will leave its current address to come to Dominica. So it will arrive in Dominica next year, I'm being told. Okay. The issue of what is being done, as we said, Dominica has leased a 3 megawatt generator. The generator arrived on November 10 this year. It will be placed on the grid by 30th, of November. Dominic was affected with regards to the water lines connecting to the Trafalgar Power Station. They're repairing this. The additional maintenance which need to be done. So that will be completed mid-December, and then Trafalgar Power Station will go on back on the grid the third week of December, based on what Dominic is saying to me. So every action has been taken by Dominic, and in some cases supported by the government, to first of all reduce on the frequency of load shedding, and secondly to eliminate load shedding completely. Once we can get this 3 megawatts, because as we speak now, there is a deficit of 3 megawatts of generating capacity now. If we bring on this 3 megawatt, and we get back Trafalgar on stream, and they do the maintenance of the 1.4 megawatt generator that they're doing maintenance. I think if we do the math, I believe Dominic will be in a better position to be able to supply the country and minimize and eliminate load shedding in the immediate term. The medium term is the setting up of the 4.8 megawatt generator capacity that we've ordered on Dominic, that will come on the grid next year, and the long and longer term solution will be the addition of geothermal to Dominic. So Dominic is approaching, and the government is approaching this from all fronts. Okay, so I don't envisage a Black Christmas. I'm hoping it'll be Christmas of lights, Christmas lights, and so forth. So, but we're pushing. We're very sensitive to this thing. This preoccupies my mind because everybody suffers from it. It's costing the government a lot, So, and I understand with the technology these days, with frost-free fridges that we have. Not back in the old days, you were too young to know frost, fridge with frost, and so when lights go, you could stay a day and a half. Your chicken and your fish still with frost, and so forth. But with frost-free now, it's difficult to keep them cold as they used to. You're a big frost-free fridge, Carly? Double door? Okay. All right. So this is what it is. I've just been told that Carly, that I believe I knew, but I don't want to confirm it. But I'm confirmed that the Bureau Standards Board was appointed last month. So that board is in place. That board is in place. Part of the challenge we have with boards is the reporting to the IPO, to the Integrity Commission. Sorry. Then people do not want to come to report. So this is why you find sometimes you have the same person, a chairman or chairperson of more than one board, because this is not a practice the government would like to engage itself in. But there's a few people who wish to report, and sometimes the people we can get to be chairperson are people who are already reporting, right? And that is the challenge. So we ask people who have the capacity and who we know can bring value to the table. And you say, boy, Skerrit, boy, that commission thing, I think never been nothing. But and they're playing politics in this thing sometimes. And
Question?
yeah.
Prime Minister, bowling alley, a theater, also to be built in Roseau. Money from basis loans from Saudi Arabia or from Saudi Arabia. Where exactly are these facilities or these facilities to be built?
Well, the loan from Saudi Arabia will be primarily for the roads enhancement project, and we are also engaging them with doing a sec where we use some of the funds to build an entertainment complex. The reality is, Matt, in Dominica, we have to create spaces where families can go to recreate and socialize, and to get our children and families out of their homes, and to ensure that we can build communities in our country. And we believe that such facilities will enhance the opportunity for people to socialize, recreate, and build community in them. And it also will be a source of economic opportunity and employment opportunities for people. Because while the government would like to build this, the government will not manage it. We will outsource its management and its operation. So we're looking at a couple locations, and we will finalize it, and we'll share it with you. So we're doing the necessary surveys for those areas, because one has to look at parking. You need parking for maybe over 200 vehicles, that kind of thing, so that people don't have to park on the side of the road. They come into the theater, they come into the bowling alley. But these are all indoor activities. They're all indoor activities. So when I speak about the golf course, or the miniature golf I'm talking about, it's an indoor recreation matter, and not the golf course as we know it. 9 hole or 18 golf, no.
I've seen, Prime Minister, and of course many people in here, I've seen some, I refer to it as false advertising. Some people will say there's no false advertising. Some YouTube video going around about some 10 mega projects or programs taking place in Dominica. I've never heard about this in Dominica.
This is not.
Can we talk about this?
Yeah, this is not a video that was generated by the government.
So this is false advertising.
Well, all I can say is that it is not from the government. In this day and age, matters, with social media and AI and all of these things, people create all kinds of things. It is left to us to really discern what makes sense and what doesn't, and be on the side of what makes sense. And not to be sensational, but this is not part of the government program or promotion or anything like that. Yeah.
Let me just ask the Minister of Health a question here. I suggest something. There's an outbreak of chicken pox at the prison, sir. Can you speak to that?
Well, the minister.
Are you aware, sir? I mean, you can answer.
We can give a report on that at a subsequent time. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Any other questions? No. But I want to thank you for your very tough questions and so on. Today you guys came for me today. But I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the spirit in which they were asked, and I do hope that my responses satisfied the curiosity of those who advise you to ask those questions.
Can I ask a final question?
Yeah, sure.
Give an update on the international airports, because
Yeah.
one of the front loaders by MMCE.
The work is going on at the international airport apace. I think we're making progress. There are a number of elements taking place. I'll say to people, you won't see the actual work by driving through Wesley. You really need drone footage to give you a true appreciation for the expanse of the site and the extent of work taking place there. So you have culverts being built, you have earth movement being done. It's a significant site. Just to give you the sheer cost of it, currently there are about 230 Dominican citizens employed on the site, and the numbers will keep increasing as the pace of work continues. So project on start on schedule, and we look forward to that being the case, and we're very excited about it. This is the largest infrastructural project in the country's history. It is going to be a transformational project. We are satisfied as Dominicans that, when we are blessed with this international airport, that it will certainly, sustain the investments we've made in tourism, agriculture, and small business development, but also spur increased economic activity. And so you tie the airport with all of the hotels we're building. You tie the airport with the geothermal investment, You tie the airport with all the investments we make in agriculture. You tie the airport with all the investment we make in small business development. And you tie the airport with all the infrastructural work that has taken place across Dominica. And I think you're seeing a clear plan for the next 15 years in Dominica.
How much money have you spent, sir?
I can get you the precise figure on this, but we can give it to you by today or tomorrow morning. But I don't have a precise figure with me today, but it's a significant project, and I'm hoping that we can fight among ourselves politically, but there are some things that we need to wrap around the national flag. And if every government for entire existence has attempted to do something about the airport, and God has blessed us, and the airport is being done so magically in the most difficult period of the world, I think we all should embrace it, and support it. But it's a significant project. Just to give you an example, Martin, the terrain and the type of soil, because you have so much moisture in the soil, we're gonna have to spend about $20 million of cement for compacting. That's to say to mix the cement with the soil. And the estimate is about $20 million. That's not for building of the waterways or the runway or the terminal building, just to compact, just to mix. You take cement and mix it with the soil, to allow for quicker drying of the soil and so forth. So it's a huge project that we believe is absolutely necessary for us to pursue. And of course, you have the marina. And so there are a number of exciting things. While we may have our challenges, day-to-day challenges, but we have to look at the bigger picture. And I think the bigger picture is going to help us in the medium term to the long term to address any challenges that we have from day to day.
Some people insist, Prime Minister, that there's some Chinese establishment and farm on that hotel on that airport compound. Can you speak to that?
But you have Chinese workers there on site, who are on site. The usual practice of the Chinese, and I think it's something that we should all emulate, is our backyard garden. So they may plant a particular type of cucumbers that they like, or Chinese cabbage that they won't find in the market. You see what I'm saying? So they will plant certain things that their intestines are familiar with, and the bowel system and the digestive system are familiar with, that they may grow. But I am aware that they're procuring significant supplies from local farmers and service providers across the country. But they will always grow something and to ensure that the things that they may not get here, Chinese cabbage, the long cucumbers that Dominicans don't like but the Chinese like, that you won't get otherwise. So they grow those things. And I think it's something we should emulate. Backyard gardening is so crucial. If we in Dominica, anywhere in the world, are to have 3 meals from a supermarket, we'll have a problem. We have to be able to supply ourselves with some things. This idea of we go in and buy a box of juice, and they say 100% juice when it's 100% water and sugar, and no vitamin C in this. That's part of the health problem we have in diabetes and hypertension in the country. All of these important things that we do not know who grew it, where they grew it. We can't even read the label because it's in a foreign language. We have to confront this thing by growing more of what we need. I don't see why we have anybody who has some land at the back of the house. It should be cultivated. I'm not telling everybody is a farmer. No, but I'm sure if you put a little bean, it can grow, or some lettuce or something, it'll grow. And we have to encourage this. Just to give you an example, my wife bought some bags because she's promoting urban agriculture and vertical agriculture and so on, and bought some bags, with crocus bag material, put in some soil in this, and we sowed some white potato seeds and also red onions. Now, Mondonel is not known to grow white potatoes in terms of the condition for white potatoes. But we made white potatoes in the bags on the concrete steps, and red onions, and enough to keep us for a couple months. So even if you don't have space, there's some methods that we can use to grow something, because I am concerned, I'm happy you raised the concern about the market garden of the Chinese. I am concerned that we are not consuming enough vegetables and fruit in Dominica, that we focus heavily on carbohydrates. And so even when you buy lunch in town, I'm concerned that the lunch, even myself, I buy lunch in town sometime. So I'm going to tell you what people tell me. I find that the portion of vegetable is a bit small. But I have rice, I have macaroni, I have ground provisions, I have potato salad. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. And I say I try to keep, you see what my stomach going on, I'm trying to stay slim and trim as I get older. You know? So we have to address this on a frontal manner. People know me, I've been talking about that for a long time. You know, we have to ensure that we have a higher consumption of vegetables and fruits as part of our daily diet. Otherwise, we'll have a problem in the country. We already have a problem of diabetes and hypertension, but it can be exacerbated. And that's one of the things that keep me up at night.
So why don't you allow, say, the Chinese to consume more or buy more from our supermarkets?
Well, they buy from farmers and not from the supermarkets. They buy from the people who grow it. Because sometimes some of the things you see at the supermarket come from other countries. You know, but I know of farmers who supply the Chinese, at the hospital. They will supply the Chinese, also supplying Chinese at the airport, and who are already starting supplying the Chinese on the schools. So the Chinese do consume a significant amount of local supply of vegetables and fruits and provisions. But as I said, these people come from an agrarian society. It's only in recent time, in the last 20 years, China has really got into other things like tourism and others, but China was known for agriculture. And so they have that within their culture, and of course, we see the Chinese diet. The Chinese diet is very low on carbohydrates. You know, the most they consume is rice. I have never seen Chinese offer me noodles. I'm not noodles, but what do you call it? Macaroni and cheese. You know, so. But they're high on vegetables and so forth, and very low on carbs. So you have that situation. But I don't think we have to be careful in Dominica that we don't give people who are helping us, you know, that impression that they're not welcome. And I want to caution us again, that's not a good practice. See, there are two things in life, before I go, that we have to pay attention to as a society: gratefulness and graciousness. If we don't have that, we will live miserable lives. And we have to be careful that we don't pass it on to succeeding generations. We must be grateful and we must be gracious. And if you don't have that, we have a problem. And there is an element, though small, of that in the country, that we go and we protest outside the Goodwill Secondary School construction site and on Wednesday march and throw stones. I mean, why are we doing that? Is it because we have no children going to that school? Or we don't care? Or we are tormented or something? I mean, why are we doing that? And why is it that whenever we speak about these things is in a negative tone? You know, so we speak about some people speak about the airport with a negative tone, you know, and why would we focus on a few cucumber seedlings growing on a 511-acre plot as the most significant issue of an international airport? You know, I'm saying that is what somebody drive by and they saw. When I drive by, I see the concrete batching plant, I see the asphalt batching plant, I see the tons of of earth that have been moved. I see the started construction of the waterways, the culverts. I see black people who I know have been Dominicans from Woodford and Wesley and Marigot. And I see people, Kalinago, and I watch them, I say they're not Chinese, they're Kalinago people from Taliban constituency working. And I see a part of mine from Point Michel. They're on site. That's what I see. And why don't we see those things in the country? We have to be careful. Let's be careful. That it is not. People must understand. I am not the one who is giving. You know, it is the Lord who giveth. I am just an instrument that the Lord is using. So when people don't show graciousness and gratefulness, it is not to me, because I am the least of the apostles. You know, it is to the Lord that you're not showing these things. And if we don't thank the Lord for our daily bread, then what's going to happen to us? And what example are we teaching our generations? That people helping us and we should stone them? That we should go and protest against them for what? And people say that nobody employed and go to school Dominicans. If you go there, you'll see Dominicans there. You know, it's not a good feeling. And for me, far more for the person who is giving us the help. I mean, somebody's building 6 schools for you. You should be having placards saying, "Thank God for the Chinese." Not the Chinese go home. Why are we doing that? You know, but we believe that that's going to cause us to get in the government faster. It's not going to cause us to get in the government. I mean, this party is there for your next, I don't know, but next 30, 40 years. Right? So what is the issue? Let's have a government of national unity. So I can bring a couple more spaces in the cabinet.
One more question. You did some electoral reform?
Well, we're going through the processes, as I said, of reviewing the legislation and looking at the main themes of recommendations coming from the consultations. And I believe that coming in New Year, we'll be in a position to present those to the public as final documents or draft documents to be sent to the Electoral Commission and then to Parliament and then implementation. Okay? Thank you very much. God bless.